Fitness gurus love to talk about weight loss. They go on about abs, heart health, motivation, and clean eating, the perfect picture of discipline and control. But nobody ever talks about what's really happening underneath it, the stuff you don't see, the stuff you don't want to admit. You hear about fat burning, heart health, and energy boosts, but nobody tells you about the quiet war your body's been fighting just to keep you standing. Years of overeating, undersleeping, and ignoring the signals add up. You brush your teeth twice a day and your breath still smells because your body's overloaded and trying to push the waste out any way it can. That's not bad hygiene, that's your system begging for help. When you finally start to change, it's not glamorous and it's not easy. It's your body clearing out everything that's been holding you down physically, mentally, chemically, and it doesn't happen in the mirror first. It happens inside. Weight loss isn't about looking different. It's about feeling different. About what happens when your body stops surviving and starts living again. You've heard the fake version. Now let's talk about what actually happens. It starts in the place most people never think about: your mouth. You can brush your teeth, chew gum, rinse with mouthwash, and still wake up with that sour taste and heavy breath that feels impossible to shake. That's not bad hygiene. That's your body telling you something's off. When you're carrying extra weight and eating the wrong foods, your mouth becomes one of the first places that shows it. Every bite of processed food leaves behind a film of sugar and acid that feeds bacteria. Your body's overloaded with waste, your digestion's slow, and those toxins don't just stay in your gut, they rise. The same imbalance that causes bloating and gas also changes the chemistry of your saliva. That's why your breath smells no matter how much you brush. Your system's literally venting what it can't process. But when you start losing weight and eating real food, everything begins to reset. Your saliva becomes cleaner, more balanced, less acidic. Your gums stop bleeding when you floss. Your tongue loses that white coating, and your mouth actually feels fresh, not just minty from toothpaste. Even your sense of taste sharpens, because your taste buds aren't buried under sugar and oil anymore. It's subtle at first, but it's the first real sign that your body's responding. Not because of a new toothpaste or mouthwash, but because your system isn't drowning anymore. That clean feeling in your mouth isn't cosmetic. It's proof that your body's finally detoxing from the inside out. And once that process starts, it doesn't stop there. It spreads through every inch of you, right up to your skin, your hair, your nails. Because when the inside begins to heal, the outside always follows. Once your body starts clearing out the waste, the results begin to show where you least expect them. On your skin, in your hair, even in the strength of your nails. That dull, tired look that you thought was just age? It wasn't. It was your body waving a white flag, overloaded with processed food, salt, sugar, and inflammation it couldn't handle. When you start eating cleaner and losing weight, your blood literally changes. It carries less sugar, less waste, less chaos. That cleaner blood flow feeds every cell that's been running on fumes for years. Your skin finally gets proper oxygen again. The constant puffiness fades because you're not retaining water from sodium overload. The oil glands that were working overtime start to balance, so you're not shiny one day and dry the next. Even the tiny red bumps on your arms or the breakouts around your jaw start disappearing because your body isn't reacting to the garbage anymore, it's repairing. Your hair follows the same story. When your diet is all over the place, your body stops treating hair as a priority. It's too busy keeping you alive. But once nutrients start being used properly, protein and minerals finally reach your scalp. Your hair grows thicker, smoother, stronger because your body's no longer in panic mode. And those nails that used to chip or bend, they're proof of recovery harder, clearer, healthier. What you see on the outside is just your body showing you the progress happening underneath. And the next thing that changes isn't something you see, it's something you sense. Because once your body resets, your smell and taste start to shift too. And that's when you realize just how different healthy really feels. As your body detoxes, your senses start to come alive again. Smell and taste are the first to sharpen, and you don't realize how dull they've been until everything suddenly feels amplified. For years, your body's been buried under excess sodium, sugar, and chemicals. Your taste buds were numbed, your nose was desensitized, and you got used to chasing stronger flavors just to feel satisfied. That's why fast food needed to be loaded with salt and artificial flavors, not because it tastes good, but because your senses stopped working the way they should. When you start losing weight and eating cleaner, your body doesn't just shrink, it recalibrates. Those receptors on your tongue start to regenerate. Food tastes different. Fruit tastes sweet again, not plain. Vegetables have flavor. Even water tastes cleaner. It's not imagination, it's your taste buds healing after years of overload. The same thing happens with smell. Your body's not pushing out toxins through sweat or breath the same way anymore, so the air around you feels clearer. You start noticing the scent of real food, the freshness of fruit, even the smell of your own skin. Your natural scent softens because your body's chemistry is cleaner. That heavy, sour odor that used to stick around, it fades because your system isn't fighting constant inflammation anymore. Smell and taste come back like old memories, small signs that your body is finally alive again. And when that happens, your brain starts changing too. Because once your body reconnects with the world around you, your mind begins to do the same. The moment your body stops struggling and begins to move in sync again, your mind finally starts to catch up. That heavy fog you've been dragging through every day begins to lift, and for the first time in a long time, you actually feel awake. Not wired, not over-caffeinated awake. That constant distraction, short temper, and forgetfulness you've been blaming on stress. It's what happens when your brain's been running on fumes. Years of poor sleep, empty calories, and blood sugar swings have starved it of what it really needs. Clean fuel and oxygen. Your body's been trying to keep the lights on while the power's been flickering. Then something shifts, your blood flow improves, inflammation drops, and your brain starts getting what it's been begging for all along. The noise quiets. You start remembering things again, names, details, why you walked into a room. Your thoughts line up instead of scattering. It's not some motivational surge or mental hack, it's your chemistry finally balancing out. Focus feels natural again. You can sit, think, work, and actually stay present without fighting to care. You don't need constant caffeine to stay sharp because your mind isn't drowning anymore. And the moment that clarity hits, you begin noticing everything else differently too. Colors seem brighter, light feels softer, even your reflection looks more alive. Because the same oxygen and blood that just brought your brain back online, it's now reaching your eyes. And that's when the world starts looking sharper than it has in years. Once the fog in your head begins to clear, your eyes start catching up. You don't notice it all at once, it's gradual, quiet, but the difference is real. That tired, glassy look begins to fade. The puffiness softens. The whites of your eyes brighten. It's your circulation waking up after years of dragging waste around with nowhere to go. When your body's inflamed and overloaded, even your vision pays for it. Your blood vessels are under constant pressure, and your eyes reflect that stress before anything else. You know that feeling when your eyes sting, or your vision blurs for no reason? That's not just exhaustion. That's your body showing you it's struggling to keep balance. As your system starts stabilizing, your eyes become one of the clearest signs that things are turning around. Your focus sharpens, literally and mentally. That strain that used to sit behind your eyes after staring at a screen, it's lighter now, because oxygen and blood are actually doing their job. The constant redness or dryness eases because your hydration levels aren't bouncing up and down anymore. Even your blinking feels less heavy because your body isn't running hot from inflammation. And then there's something subtle but powerful. You start to look different. Not because you've lost weight in your face, but because life comes back into your eyes. That dull, distant look that comes with fatigue gets replaced by clarity, by awareness. People start saying you look more awake, more alive, even if they can't explain why. That's what happens when your body's finally aligned, when what's happening inside starts showing up in the way you see everything around you. As your body keeps resetting, it starts purging everything that's been stuck for years, and that includes what comes out through your skin. Sweat is one of your body's main detox systems, and for a long time, it's been carrying the weight of your habits. When you've been living on processed food, sugar, and low hydration, even your sweat smells different, sharper, sourer, heavier. It's your body trying to flush out what your gut and liver couldn't handle. But when your system starts balancing out, the smell changes. It's not that you stop sweating, you start sweating cleaner. There's less buildup in your pores, fewer chemicals circulating, and your body temperature evens out. You don't feel overheated for no reason. You don't sweat sitting still, and when you do, it doesn't carry that stale scent anymore because your body isn't releasing toxicity, it's releasing effort. It's a quiet transformation nobody talks about. Deodorant starts lasting longer, not because it's stronger, but because your system's calmer. Your skin feels smoother, not waxy or sticky. Even your clothes smell fresher at the end of the day because your sweat isn't fighting your food anymore. That's how you know the change is real, not by the number on a scale, but by the way your body reacts to effort. It's not trapped in constant defense mode anymore. It's functioning, breathing, resetting, and as your body stops burning energy just to survive, something else starts standing out. How your relationship with energy itself changes. You stop relying on caffeine to get through the day, and that first cup suddenly hits different. Because your system's finally clean enough to feel it. With the toxins finally out of your system, the things that used to barely move the needle suddenly hit like a switch, and caffeine is the perfect example. When your system's overloaded, that morning coffee just keeps you from crashing. You don't feel a boost, you just feel less dead. Your body's so used to running on junk energy that real stimulation barely registers. But when your digestion, blood flow, and hormones start working properly, caffeine feels completely different. You don't need 3 cups to function anymore. One actually does what it's supposed to. That's not magic, that's efficiency. Your adrenal system isn't fried, your blood sugar isn't spiking and dropping, and your liver isn't trying to filter chaos every hour. So when caffeine hits, your body can actually use it instead of fighting it. You feel alert, not wired. Focused, not frantic. That jittery, sweaty crash disappears because your energy's stable before the caffeine even arrives. It's like cleaning the engine and realizing it always had power. It was just clogged. But there's another shift happening beneath the surface, something you might not notice until it's tested. Your immune system, once bogged down by constant inflammation and processed foods, starts to wake up. When your body's overloaded, your defenses are in survival mode, putting out fires instead of building strong walls. You catch every cold, every bug seems to hit harder, and recovery drags on for days. Now, with your system finally clear, your immune cells can actually do what they're supposed to. Inflammation drops, white blood cells respond faster, and even old allergies can start to fade. Cuts heal quicker. That lingering cough disappears. Instead of feeling constantly run down, you start noticing how rarely you get sick and how fast you bounce back when you do. It's not about being invincible. It's about restoring balance so your body can defend itself the way it was designed to. The more you support your system with real food, better sleep, and less stress, the stronger those defenses become. You're not just avoiding illness, you're building a foundation that keeps you resilient no matter what life throws at you. And that's real health, not just surviving, but thriving from the inside out.